Previously on your quest, we took on Nolan and won somehow. Reported Bill's house for the next destination. I believe we got the ticket for the SSN. We also read Postbox. I'm impressed you knew that game. Huh. And we beat Misty last time. We beat a water Pokemon with a water Pokemon. That's pretty good. And we departed the gym in Cerulean City. Save the game in the Pokemon Center. Welcome back to Pokemon Save Swappers. Let us see how we are doing today. It seems like Joe has been doing some leveling up. Excellent, excellent. So I had one objective plan for this episode, and that is Bugle has not been leveled up in a while, and I feel like none of us are going to use him. So I thought we might just place him in the daycare center that's just south of Cerulean. So let's see if this is correct. Oh, it's been so long, but I believe this was in the original after all. Let's see. Alright, who do we have here?
I run the daycare service. Would you like me to raise one of your Pokemon?
Could you raise my Bugle, please?
Fine, I'll look after your Bugle for a while. Come see me in a while.
And now we have spots for one more Pokemon. Let's see, do we have some Pokeballs? We have 4, so we could probably catch something with 4, I'd hope. Huh. I wonder what Joe did last time, because it didn't seem like the recap knew of anything. Oh, we can trade. I don't know if I want to trade. That seems scary. It's Bitexel. Oh wait, he's evolved even, so it's not even a Nidoran anymore, is it? Wow, I've never seen this color scheme before. I wonder why they did it that way. It's almost like a rainbow underground tunnel. Strange. Okay, let's see. Okay, there's probably some secret items in there, but I am not willing to go look. Apologies in advance. Oh, we found a citrus berry somehow. That was completely by accident. It just seemed like a place where secret items would be. Okay, let's try to catch a Pokemon here then. So the topic for this episode is going to be stories and books that I read lately. Especially Japanese novels, actually. That's what I've been interested in for the last few months. I've been reading through. There's a translation service, a website called Bakatsuki. I'm sorry, I'm using sleep powder all the time. Sorry about that. I'm just distracted. And they do an excellent job because it gives the Western audience a chance to read books from the Eastern side of the world, I suppose. And there's some good authors in there, in my opinion. So I'm very happy that there's such a thing. It's all voluntary too, which is impressive. A level 10 Meowth, I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. Sorry, Meowth. The first I'm going to talk about is probably the one I read first that introduced me to Bakatsuki. That is Log Horizon. Log Horizon describes the story of MMO players. And one day they get sucked into the game and they can't escape, and they have to basically live in this game now. And all the rules have changed. They're trying to adapt to everything that's changed in the game. One thing I didn't say is that 12 now, if we could catch that, is that this all happened during the expansion, like the server reset and then everything just went haywire. But it's an interesting story, in my opinion. The character's probably the best part, just the good dialogue, in all honesty. and some crazy events that happen too. I really like it. Just all the conflicts between different guilds and players, and trying to explore all the new things that are in this world. But that is really interesting to me. It's not a story that I've seen or a plot that I've seen much of. There's also an animated version of that story if you want to watch it that way. That's completely fine. I saw the first episode of that, and yeah, it was a completely fine adaptation in my opinion. The next one I read must have been Knights and Magic, and this is probably not one of my favorite stories, but it's okay. It's all about this mech nerd. He creates like a lot of miniature sculptures of mechs and robots and all that. He's very interested in that. But at one point he gets into an accident and then somehow gets sucked into a world again, into this fantasy world where there's a bunch of monsters, and he's in this one last town trying to survive, basically. All the outrage from these monsters and stuff, and they build these fantasy mechs, and it's hard to describe this one, in all honesty. But it's a world of magic, and with all the knowledge that he has with mechs, he quickly becomes like a hero, I suppose, in university. Like he's really good with building and using mechs. And it's a fine story. I don't care too much about it anymore, but it's a good read, I suppose, if you want to start to reading Japanese stories. Then is probably my absolute favorite, which is Our Journey to the End of the Ceasing World, which is kind of a very short, self-contained story, but it brings like a very powerful message, and there's some really interesting choices for characters and the plot itself that made me very interested and invested in the story just from the get-go. I think I'm just gonna read the description because I don't think my own description would give enough credit to the story. So I'm just gonna say what happens here. The story revolves around the boy and the girl who travel together through a world that is gradually nearing its end. A mysterious illness has emerged that erases the very existence of everyone who suffers from it. The story does not, however, focus on the tragic aspect of this fairly post-apocalyptic setting, but rather shows the people and events that the two travelers come across during their journey. That is fair. It's not like a big plot, not too much happens, it just tells you a lot about how would you deal with such an illness when that occurs. It's very cool. I really enjoyed that. And also a bit interesting about how this story came about, which I found very intriguing. Let's see. So this author wrote this book 1 month before the deadline of a novel competition, I suppose. And his friend said, like, there's no way you can make something in a month that would win. And then he said, because I had no time, I just started noting down a prologue without setting any story elements, without setting any names, just placing a hero and a heroine. I don't know how to pronounce the female version of a hero, so I'm just gonna skip that. And that's when I came with the idea of writing a light novel without any proper nouns. In a way, you could say that this novel was born by that close deadline. So because of the short deadline, he made these very interesting decisions of not giving any characters names, not giving the places any names either. It's crazy. I love it. It also gives like slight hints of the civilization that was there before every name and any identity was erased from the world, I suppose. It's very cool. And there's also this one final part that he wrote in the epilogue that I really like. So, we come across one question from time to time. How would you spend today if you knew you would die tomorrow? No, that's something I'm pretty sure everyone thinks about. It's a really tough question. There's probably a lot of things you want to do before you die, so... I'm not gonna catch any Meowth. I'm just wanting to catch a Bellsprout, by the way, if people were wondering. But how about this question? What would you do if you could leave nothing behind you after you died? So basically, any evidence of you existing, any legacy, I suppose, would not exist. Anything you've created, just be gone. That's scary to me, because I love to create stuff, if it's just like videos like these or animations or whatever. So that would really frighten me. If there was nothing left behind to remember me by. Oh no, Balboa. That was a really good. I'm bad at phrasing this, but I think that's a really good story and a good message to tell. Like, how would you think? What would you do if you knew that none of it would matter in the end? There we go, we got a Bellsprout. We did something this episode, that's good. And it says that this was kind of the starting point for the novel. And apparently this was the first time he's played this story, that he wrote a novel for a competition. So, and somehow he won, which I agree. This is a really good novel, so I think it's well deserved. Maybe we should write the name of this Bellsprout. Maybe it should be inspired by some of the stories I've told. Let's see. There's one last one, and I guess I'm going to call Bellsprout this one. That is Psychic Detective Yakumo, and that's what I've been reading lately. I just finished book 5, I believe, yesterday. And it's a good story. Psychic Detective, it says a lot about the plot already. It's basically a teenager that can see ghosts. And he helps the police solve cases, and he also gets to learn some about his own past, which is very tragic. So I'm not going to spoil it. I think it's better that for you to learn about it yourself. But it has some really good characters in this one as well. But the image in my mind just refers to like different characters from other games or stories. For example, the lead detective in the story, I just keep thinking it's Detective Gumshoe from Phoenix Wright, and that makes the story way funnier in my opinion. So if you played Phoenix Wright and you know about Detective Gumshoe, just keep that image in your mind if you're reading the story. I think you'll really enjoy that. And also the detective's sidekick. I always keep thinking it's the detective sidekick in Persona 4. The assistant to the dad in that story in Persona 4. So if you played Persona 4 and know about that character, that also should make things pretty fun, because their personalities are kind of similar, so I think that would work pretty well. Yeah. Psychic Detective Yakumo is actually one I would love to do like a narration or an audiobook of some time. Because it does not have too many characters, I wouldn't get voices confused or anything like that. I think it is also a really good story, so I think it'd be an excellent story to choose. It has a lot of books though, so yeah, it looks like about 11 or 12 at this point. It's very popular, I suppose, when it's gone this far. But yeah, that's also if you like that kind of mystery stuff, I think you'll really enjoy that book. Especially because it actually leaves hints where you can figure it out yourself, and I love that in detective stories. It actually gives the viewer or reader the possibility to figure it out on your own. That is like one of my favorite things in mystery anything. I actually figured it out a couple of times, which made me very happy. I can understand that some might not like the stories I like, considering they're all light novels, so there's not... Maybe the writing is not especially great, but I like how simple it is. And also, the dialogue feels pretty natural. So I really enjoy it. There, of course, there will be linked to all of those in the description if you choose to. And if you really enjoy these stories, I'd appreciate if you bought them as well. But I can understand why you wouldn't. That's completely fine. I did buy Log Horizon because they just got an English, an official English translation. I thought that was really appropriate to show some support for a story I really like. And we are in Vermilion City. Welcome. I hope you will enjoy your stay in Vermilion. And I believe there's only about 3 or 4 minutes left, so I don't know how much else we can do. We did catch a Yakumo. Maybe we could just train him for a while. But I don't know if I want to do too much. I feel like Joe should be allowed to explore. Okay, I feel like this guy should have a voice. Grand, I like your style. I think we can be friends. Take this and fish, young friend. A fishing guru. You know, usually these stereotype of gurus is like they're all distant, you know. But I don't think this is appropriate for fishing gurus. They should be a little bit excitable. Fishing is a way of life. It is like the finest poetry. From the seas to rivers, go out and land the big one, my friend. Don't like that. Oh. And now we have a way to fish. Let us see if we can catch something here before it ends. Falling. Here we go. Nope. I believe you can quick bind it. No, that's... Well, I guess I could do that. That's fine. There we go. Yeah, register. That was what I meant to do. Nope. Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, let's hope we can catch something in the last minutes here. Jeez. Looks like there's some bad luck here in the shores of Vermilion. Oh! There we go. Magikarp. There we go. Get on Magikarp. Level 5. Let's see. Are you going to die from this? No, you're not. Good. But nothing happened. I feel this is very appropriate if we can catch Magikarp at the end of this episode. Oh, this probably should be my thumbnail as well. Oh, that would be awesome. Let's see. Pokeballs. Alright, let's go, Magikarp. You're gonna be mine. And there we go. Awesome. I gotta get a name for you too, though. I don't know why, but I feel like I want to call you Shark. Your name is now Shark. And that's our first box Pokemon, I believe. And with that, this is a little less than 20 minutes, but I feel that's fine because I did a little bit more for the last 2 episodes. So I hope you have enjoyed. Please read the stories if you have time over the summer. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.